How much is my mobile home park worth? Do you want to know how much your mobile home park's really worth? Well, let's see how investors calculate value on this video. Your mobile home park value is not just based on location, it's based on cash flow. Let's dive into finding out what your mobile home park's really worth. Thinking about selling your mobile home park? Here's how you maximize value and you find the right buyer so you sell at the right price. By the end of this video, you'll know how to determine the value of your mobile home park, what factors affect your mobile home park value, and how to maximize the value, little things you can do to maximize the sale. So the key formula for valuing your mobile home park is net operating income divided by the price, which is cap rate. Everyone wants to know, what is the cap rate that you're selling at? So what we want to do is be sure you maximize the net operating income. Increasing the income, lowering the expenses, what's left over is the net operating income or the profit that your mobile home park generates. This doesn't include any bank debt. This assumes that someone will be buying your mobile home park for all cash. They can get debt, but the value is based on the net operating income. Then we apply a cap rate to it. This is how appraisers appraise mobile home parks, how brokers value mobile home parks, and investors look at what their returns are going to be so they know what type of investment performance the property is going to generate. Subscribe to my channel, and there's another video I break down how do you determine cap rates and what are fair cap rates for mobile home parks. Next, we're going to look at the quality of the income. We look at lot rent income versus park-owned home income. And every investor wants only lot rent income. So if all of your tenants are owners of their mobile home, that's perfect. That's exactly what investors want, because investors look for the coveted land lease community model. So when valuing your mobile home park, we're only going to qualify the lot rent income, and we have to separate out the income for the rentals of the mobile homes. Now you can count all the homes that are on the sites and calculate the lot rent, but anything additional, we want to take that out and put that in as additional income. That way the buyer can see this is all the revenue from the lots, and this is how we're going to calculate value. If you can sell off all the mobile homes to your tenants that are renting the mobile home before you sell the property, that's going to create the best pool of buyers, and that's going to get you the highest valuation. Appraisers and investors love just the rental income from the land. So getting back into cap rates, what is a fair cap rate for a mobile home park? Well, there's a wide variety of mobile home parks out there. If you own a premier community in California or Florida full of retirees, and they all own their own mobile homes, they have nice incomes, they're really pretty, you could get a 4 or 5 cap rate on your asset, which is a huge multiple. Now, if you own a rougher park and you're out in the country, or there's a lot of dilapidated homes or the community needs a lot of work, you may have to value your mobile home park at 7, 8, 9, or 10. So there's a wide variety in there. That's where a broker could come in handy to tell you what the cap rate is. Or there's a great book that I didn't write, but it's called What's My Park Worth? By Timothy Moffitt and Michelle Gakowski. It's a book specifically focused on evaluating mobile home parks, and it gives you a range of what cap rates would be based on the location, the quality of the mobile home community, and then what the correlated cap rate would be that an appraiser would use or an investor would use. It's a little outdated, but it gives you a good range and will help you understand this is the cap rate range that I can sell my park for. Check out the comments below or in the description, and I'll put a link to that book that you can get it on Amazon. Key factors that will affect the value of the mobile home community that you're selling. Number one, what kind of utilities do you have? Do you have private utilities where it's a well or a septic system? Buyers really don't like that, so it's going to affect your cap rate and it's going to go up, meaning that you get a little less of a price because the owner, as you know, has to maintain a well or a septic system or a lagoon system. All these private systems cost more money and there's a little more management and oversight, so that will create a higher cap rate for you. If you can hook into city utilities, that is ideal. Every investor loves city utilities and you're going to get a premium price for that. Secondly is size. I know you can't control this, but 100 units or more is going to give you a premium price. There's going to be more buyers out there. If you have 10 or 20 units, you're typically not going to get as high of a price because of the cost of the management on the asset. So the bigger, the better, and the higher values you're going to get. But if you do have a smaller mobile home community, around 10 to 50 lots, if there's someone in the community that lives there, that manages the property, that keeps their eyes on it, maybe even a husband-wife team that maintains it, does maintenance, does the lawns, does the different maintenance items, the fixing up the water lines or any sewer breaks, that's great. If you can prove that there's good management and it's affordable, then that's going to help you maximize the value even on a smaller community, because investors don't want to buy a job. They're not going to live there. They don't want to manage it. Investors are going to want to hire someone to do that. And if that's already in place, you can command a higher value. Another key factor is rents. If you can raise rents before you sell, you will get a premium value. Now, if there's potential to raise rents, then the buyer will be willing to pay a little more for the property because they know you can increase the rents. Yet if you can do that ahead of time, that's going to help you get a premium price because you helped increase the value before you actually sold it. Occupancy, this is a key factor. The higher, the better. The more full your mobile home park is, the better it looks to an investor. We all know it's hard to fill a mobile home park with brand new homes or used homes and sell them to a tenant and get them paying on time consistently. So the nicer the mobile homes are in your community, the better the price is because you can depend on that tenant paying. Typically, tenants that have pride of ownership for their home are more likely to keep paying because you have that collateral, you have the security that their home is on your land and they don't want to lose that home. That's their asset. So improving the homes and filling the occupancy is critical. If you can get to 95 or 100% occupancy, an investor is going to love that and they're going to pay a premium price. If you're not at full capacity, that will affect the price. Yet if all the lots are in working order and you prove that you can sell homes in that community, you can probably command a little bit better of a price because you've proven the proof of concept that there's quality buyers in the market, and that tells a buyer that if they do start to buy homes and fill the park, that there's a good demand for those homes and they're going to be able to increase the value, and the lots are already improved where there's a nice pad, there's utility connections, the roads are good, and that they can install that home and easily start to fill in those vacant pads. So what can you expect when selling? Well, first, get your profit and loss statement really dialed in. You want to show a trailing 12 months of consistent operating performance of rents coming in. And if you can even show proof of income that money's going in the account and that cash was collected, it's even better for the buyer. Secondly, show any improvements that you did, especially on the balance sheet. This is the money that I spent on the community. And the more improvements you make, the higher the price you're going to get. So if you do the paving, if you do the tree cutting, if all the utilities are dialed in and cleaned up, and even better, if you can bill the utilities back to the tenants, the water and sewer, that lowers your expenses and it looks really clean to a buyer, especially if you're on city utilities. And lastly, you want to have a nice clean rent roll. And what that means is you outline all the spaces in your mobile home park, you show what's occupied, what's not occupied, who's paying and who's not paying. And the more you can show that people are paying and the more occupancy you have, the better price you're going to get. So what to expect when you're about to put your property on the market. When you do start marketing it, there's a lot of bad buyers out there, meaning they don't know what they're doing. So you might have a lot of people waste your time if you're not working with a broker or working with a reputable company. So qualify the buyer. If you're the one selling it, make sure you ask them, do you own any other mobile home parks? Have you bought any parks before? What are you going to do with the mobile home park after you buy it? What are your source of funds? Do you have a lender lined up? Do you have the proof of cash available? Do you have investors or is this your own cash? Qualify them, and if they get offended, then you don't need to work with them. You want to make sure you're not wasting 6 or 12 months of your time with someone that either cancels the deal because they don't know what they're doing, or two, they just don't have the money and they can't execute. My company, Patriot Holdings, has been buying parks for 20 years now, and this is all we do. So if you position your mobile home park and add all the value, we're happy to pay for it because we know that we have a nice stream of cash flow coming in and you did all the hard work. So now that you have an idea of what your mobile home park's worth and what you can do to increase the value, it's time to find a buyer. So go on my website, patriotholdings.com, reach out to us, and we're happy to give you a list of brokers who can go out there and help you sell your mobile home park. You don't want a broker that doesn't know what they're doing, and I've worked with brokers for the last 20 years. I'm happy to refer a broker to you that's going to be able to execute, deal with all the nonsense, and still charge you a fair commission. Click on the website, patriotholdings.com, reach out to us, and we can give you a free assessment of what your mobile home park's worth and what we're willing to buy. Now that you know the value of your mobile home park, it's time to sell it. So go to my video about how to sell your mobile home park, and we'll give you more tips about how to maximize value and get the highest price possible.